Hi, how's everybody? So sorry, but I woke up sick this morning, so this is why I look like shit. I literally just rolled out of bed and I'm putting myself on the internet. So cool. How's everybody else? Anyone?
Feeling fine. I mean, I woke up right next to you, so
yeah,
you know how I'm feeling.
Oh my God. All right. So let's see. Yesterday we just wrapped up starting the, oh my God. I haven't even taken any cold medicine yet. Yesterday we started recording on season 2 and it was really fun and I was feeling less sick. So don't worry, the episodes will be okay. And we did some special, some recordings just for our Patreon subscribers. So go there, please, patreon.com/spacebearmedia and pledge us some money because we're making all this awesome content for you guys. So
really only a few dollars a month.
$5 a month gets you everything for Lost, and you do get some benefits. You can see them there at Patreon, and including some merch, but also you just get to be awesome and support us because you enjoy the podcast. So,
and I think we actually came up for a t-shirt idea or something, or some sort of stick or something. We came up with a great idea yesterday. I'm not gonna say it.
That'll be out next spring. Anyways, this week, episode 6. Have you guys listened to it yet? It's in the Google Drive.
Yeah, I actually listened to it again this morning just so that it would be in my mind.
Nice. It's a Derek episode and it's called House of the Rising Sun. It follows Sun and Jin, but for those of you who have seen the show, you know that we get half of the story in this episode. We get Sun's point of view and we get Jin's point of view later in season 1 on the same events. Derek, it was your second time presenting. Do you remember if you felt more comfortable that time after your first?
Yeah, I definitely felt more comfortable. Because the first episode was like the first episode I recorded was the first episode ever. So
yes, it was. and
first time ever doing a podcast.
Man, you go in too quick and it's over like that.
Yeah.
Wait a second. I think I just caught a dirty joke in there.
No, never.
Right. So Derek will be always doing the opening episodes and the finale episodes every season. We're gonna have him doing that because he's the only one that hasn't seen them. And as the show goes on, he'll also get the new characters. As a new character comes on the scene and gets an episode, I will be assigning those to Derek. Just FYI.
Assigning those, that sounds really fun.
Yeah, like it's a job.
Except for the one that was requested.
Yeah.
In season 3.
It kind of does feel like a job. We actually work really hard on this. That's why we keep begging for money on Patreon.
Want some of that sweet moolah.
Yeah, because it's not cheap to put a podcast on.
No,
it's a lot of time and effort.
It's right now an expensive hobby, but a really fun one. We're enjoying.
Yeah, I enjoy it though. I mean, it doesn't feel like work. So
no, except when I assign you things, I guess.
Yeah.
So
when I see editing 3 or 4 episodes in a week, then it's like, ooh, yeah, that's
true. You have a lot more work than I do.
I think Lacy's got the most. Yeah, Lacy's got the most. But...
Yeah, I assign work to Ben too, but it was my idea and I roped you guys into it. So
They dragged me kicking and screaming. Yeah.
I've got the most post.
You've got most post-production stuff. Yeah, you do all the sound and you wrote the music and all of that good stuff.
Which is awesome. The music is awesome.
Yes.
Thank you.
It's weirdly, it's like, it sounds like if you didn't know, you might think it actually came from the show.
Right. It fits.
It's
very
perfect.
fitting.
Yeah.
That's what I was shooting for. So good. Mission accomplished.
Ben.
Oh, you got my eye.
Anybody have anything they want to chat about this week before I give us another little assignment?
Okay, so there's one thing that goes on in this episode.
Yeah.
about handcuffs.
Okay.
I think that I know where the key is.
Okay, where is it? Because that's been bugging me.
Kate was like, the plane was breaking apart as Kate was getting the handcuffs off of her. Fucking gone. That's where the key is. It's just gone. That's why. To do.
Oh, you're right. She was unhooking herself. She was unhooking herself. Like, okay, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So after the marshal got hit in the head like 8 times by that luggage.
Oh, I love that scene.
Yeah.
So just so anybody. Go ahead. I was just going to catch people up so they know what we're talking about, that there's been a controversy while recording season 1 on where the key to the handcuffs are. They were the marshal's handcuffs, and they used them in this episode to handcuff Jin to the airplane. And then the cuffs stay on him the rest of season 1. So we couldn't figure out where the key was.
So the takeaway was, short of using an axe or something like that, they chained him to a fuselage on the beach,
and where
that was going to be an indefinite sentence,
where they had no key. Right. That would be
no key, no way of actually undoing it.
Yeah.
But we do go on a bit about how wasteful it is, because the handcuffs could have come in handy, and
absolutely.
It was like, no pun intended.
The good thing about Jin, though, is, like, him being out there on the beach, if he had to be out there, is you could never really get too much sun.
Oh my god.
Yeah, she's hot.
Yes,
you guys,
especially with that button unbuttoned.
Here's what we're gonna do today before we sign off, and I want to go back to bed, but I have homework. Here.
Speaking of assignment.
So over the summer, I forgot about this last week when I was like trying to think of a question to ask you guys, and I forgot. Over the summer, Ben and I hosted a big party. It was like the first vaccinated really get together in July, and it was a birthday party for everybody who missed a birthday during COVID, which was of course everyone. Yeah, Ben missed 2. So anyways, a friend of ours gave us this gift, and it's like a card game, but it's not really a game so much as that it's a bunch of cards full of thought-provoking questions, I guess, or things that are supposed to make conversation. And then you can sit around and, like, I don't know, drink and read them. Anyways, I'm going to pick one, and I'm going to ask you the question. Okay. Okay. So it says debate, which means you're supposed to debate this about me, but I'm just going to pose the question to everyone. So which horror movie reality would you be least likely to survive in? I automatically know my answer. I'll give you a second to think about it.
I mean so many.
Yeah, but which one would you least likely, like, what movie, when you're watching it, where you're like, I would definitely die in this movie?
I mean, it's not a horror movie, but like Das Boot, anything that takes place underwater and like a submarine, no way.
No, that you just think you would die. That's not a horror
okay,
movie.
so like I don't know, Leviathan, The Abyss, Deep Star 6. Like there's a bunch of movies that were in that, Deep Blue Sea. Anything
if you're underwater, what you're saying is if you're underwater, you'll die.
Pretty much.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I would not survive the Saw movies.
That's what I was going to say was Saw.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Because you have to do something horrible to yourself. And I don't think I could do it. I think I would just freeze, like freak out and then die.
So I could get away from Jason and Freddy and all them, but Saw, if I
have to do it to myself, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Years ago, there were 4 of us. We decided to do a Saw movie marathon.
I remember when you did that.
Start to finish. And I think that it was in movie 3. Something was going on, and I was like, I'm leaving. I was like, Caleb, call me when you need a ride home. I can't do this.
You gave up?
It was really bad in that particular movie. And he was like, babe, I promise you this is as bad as it gets. For what's going on in that particular movie. He was like, it'll be okay. It'll be okay. And so I did end up staying, and I'm glad that I stayed, because in each one of the movies, there were unanswered questions. And then in the movie, you got all of the answers. So like if you had been going and seeing it in the theater one a year, by the time you get to the end, you've forgotten, all. So it was neat to marathon it. So anyway.
So I would die in any one of those movies. They're awful.
I agree.
I've never seen any of them.
I've seen the first two, I think.
I have seen them all, and I tried to watch.
They have interesting ways or creative ways to kill people.
Yeah, right. That's what it always kind of felt like. It was just sort of like almost like torture porn, which is just not really.
That was my problem with there was I think, like I said, I think it was number 3. It was just torture porn, and
they get worse. They get the original ones are the first couple are not as bad. They do get worse, but there's an actual plot to them. It's not so much the torture porn. I feel is stuff like Hostel, where there's no.
Oh yeah, no, that's another one I couldn't survive with, but they did.
But there's no like plot other than kids staying in a hostel get tortured to death. Like there's no story. In Saw, there's at least a story. There's somewhat of a psychological bit to it, and so I find them different. Although I mean they are hard to watch, and I would definitely die. But I feel like torture porn is worse. Like I can't watch those Hostels or what are those centipede movies?
Oh, the Human Centipede.
Human Centipede. I've never seen that, but I heard it's rough.
Oh, it's like the whole point of the movie is like a guy that sews people's mouths to other people's assholes and makes like a train of. I mean, and that's it. That's the whole. What the fuck kind of shit is that?
Sounds like the GOP, man.
Yeah. I hate to be the back end of the centipede or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's bad. I mean, it's gross.
Another movie I'd definitely die would be Event Horizon.
Do you see? Go through black holes.
Yeah,
like Hellraiser.
Yeah, those both have
similar,
that same kind of feel.
Yeah.
I would not do well in any kind of buried alive situation.
That's my worst.
Yeah.
That would absolutely freak me out, especially there's a couple of movies out there where, someone wakes up in a coffin. And although I'm not
Kill Bill Volume 2 scares the shit out of me.
Yeah.
If she's got like super skills to get out of there, I would suffocate and probably die of like an anxiety attack.
Yeah, and I don't generally have claustrophobia, but if I woke up in a coffin underground, I shit completely.
I can't imagine like the shit, like what would happen. I would fuck that. That's one of the worst things I can think of.
Another thing that I wouldn't survive, even though I have some ideas of how I could survive any type of apocalyptic situation.
Simply like a zombie apocalypse, like Walking Dead, or
no, I would survive
I could survive that.
I would have Ben, and he is ready for the zombie apocalypse.
I would survive up to a certain point, but
although I would be like that idiot who trips and falls and gets like bitten by a zombie. That would happen.
You have to worry about the living more than the zombies.
Honestly, yeah, exactly. I think Ben, your biggest worry in the zombie apocalypse is that you would have to kill me because I would be turning.
it all depends on the types of zombies. I agree. Like if they're done like Night of the Living Dead zombies, where they're just like
just the slow ones,
yeah. Like I mean, you watch that movie and they're going through all of this shit, and all they really had to do was stand at the top of the staircase and take turns with a baseball bat. Every time somebody came up, bam, hit them on the head, they go down.
Yeah.
So if you're dealing with
those 28 days later ones, like World War Z, the fast ones, those are
World War Z was particularly bad.
If you're dealing with slow zombies, then people are going to be the biggest threat.
Yep. The fast ones, it'll be a lot more.
So, but there was an episode of The Walking Dead where there was a young lady who was a diabetic and she needed her insulin. And when I think about that kind of thing, I'm not diabetic, but I have other health concerns.
Oh yeah.
If once I ran out of medicine, God knows what would happen. I'd probably end up with brain damage from the MS. And it would just be best to kill myself in that kind of situation.
Yeah, honestly, if I was to run out of psychiatric meds, then I would just end up losing it. And then I'd get anxious, I'd get paranoid, and there'd actually be zombies. That would be a bad situation. Yeah. I wouldn't last long. Yeah.
At least you would have a defined reason for your paranoia. It might actually work out for you, because if you're paranoid and anxious and you don't really know why, then maybe all you need is a focal point for that. And once you have it, you're like, okay, well, I can deal with this now. Now I know what I'm anxious about.
So maybe I'd turn into like a zombie killing machine. I'd have like a focus of it.
Good.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yep. I mean, I think it would require some more work with firearms and edged weapons, but yeah, I think you could get there.
Definitely need the edged weapons because they're silent.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh. All right, guys.
Although
good chat.
I will say that I'm no longer as terrified of zombies as I used to be.
Yeah. So I've known Christy for over 20 years, and there was a good 15 years of it where you had recurring zombie nightmares.
Maybe
was it that long? 10 years?
7 to 10 years.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how it started. I don't know why it started. But I would have zombie apocalypse nightmares, and it wasn't the same. It was always different people, different zombies, different weapons. Once there was a dog. But once I started having that nightmare and I would wake up, I would not be able to sleep for the whole rest of the night.
Wow.
And Caleb would be like, no, just try to sleep. I'm like, I can't. Zombies are trying to get me. I can't. Walking Dead came on. And one Saturday morning, I decided I was going to try to watch the show. And about 10 minutes in, I was like, fuck, I need vodka. But I pushed through it. And as terrifying as it was for me, I really pushed through it. And I stopped having zombie apocalypse nightmares.
Like immersion therapy.
Yeah.
So I would like to thank The Walking Dead for helping me cure my zombie apocalypse.
How weird. Yeah, that's really strange.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I think reality is more terrifying than zombies right now. We got 30% of our fucking country that are basically zombies at this
point. Pretty much, yeah.
Think about it as being brain dead and menacing to everyone around them.
Well, this was fun until now.
Oh, you're dark.
Yeah.
All right, honestly, guys, I really feel like shit, and we're gonna have to go. I gotta go.
Okay.
Did you just make a Shannon noise at me?
Yes.
Patreon.com.
Yeah, you had to go.
Oh, okay. Patreon.com/SpaceBearMedia. SpaceBearMedia.com. You can watch videos and listen to stuff there. And tomorrow, episode 6 of season 1, House of the Rising Sun. And Patreon, you can listen now, ad free. All right, we'll see you next week, guys. Bye.
Bye, everybody.